Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gina, and in today's video I'll be reviewing for you the new MARC JACOBS Iconic palettes which just launched recently. I bought two palettes from Sephora and I kind of wanted to sit down and film this video and give you guys a full review of the MARC JACOBS palettes and what I think of them. So in today's video I did create a look using one of his palettes, so you will get to see that as well. So if you guys would like to hear my thoughts on the new MARC JACOBS palettes and also how I created this eye look, then please keep on watching. So I have two palettes here that I got myself. One is the Scandalist and one is Martorial. So let's open these, shall we? Iconic palettes come in this kind of sleek black packaging with a little bit of a clasp. So you just press the clasp and the package opens. So this is your Scandalist palette, which is your typical kind of warm toned palette. It has your beautiful, burgundies and browns in there. So I've already tried out the Scandalist palette this week, so I will do some swatches and give you a review of this palette later on in the video if you guys are interested in this palette. But for now I wanted to actually try out the other palette that I got. Let's open this up. So it comes with a little thing, just gonna throw that away. And this is what the palette looks like. This is the Martorial palette. It has your blues and teals, and actually that teal shade over there is what I fell in love with. So I wanted to get this palette because of that, and it is like the shades are so beautiful. So I've not played with this palette yet. So what I'm going to do is swatch this palette live for you guys right now, and then tell you my first impressions. Do a try-on session with this palette right here because I was just feeling the blues today and not my typical warm tone shades. So yeah, I want to try this on camera today. So for those of you who are not familiar with MARC JACOBS Beauty, they did have a line of eyeshadow palettes beforehand, before this year as well, but they somehow I think discontinued that line. I'm not sure why. I have a couple of them. So I have this older one here. This is the Starlet palette, and it actually was really beautiful. These older palettes were a little bit different than what they came out with recently. The palettes that he just came out with have like this kind of color coordination going on, with the reds and the browns in one and the blues in one and then the pinks in another one. But this was, I don't know, I guess maybe he felt that they were kind of all over the place. So this Starlet palette has all kind of your shimmer shades. It doesn't have any kind of transition shade or anything like that. I mean, the shades were like pretty beautiful. Like, I have no complaint on the formula of these. Yeah, the formula of these were pretty bomb. So I don't know the reason why they discontinued this line. Except perhaps maybe they were not as, like, the shades were not as coordinated as the new ones that he came out with. So yeah, but I still have the older ones and they perform like so beautifully. So I'm hoping that the new ones actually perform as good as the old one. So let's just try out the blue one right now, this Martorial one. I'm going to go from top to bottom, and I'm going to swatch it here on the back of my hand. So those are the swatches right there for the whole palette. It is a pretty beautiful palette, like with the blues and the greens. What I did notice was that this blue right here, this kind of vibrant blue, is a little bit patchy, but we'll see how it applies on the eyes. So the mattes and the shimmers in the palette are really good. I don't see any problem with them except for the blue shade there. I don't see an issue with any of the other shades, which is a good sign, which means my eye look will go pretty good today. So let's just start trying on this palette on our eyes. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with this Scandalist Rimmel eyeliner. So this is more of a chubby stick, and yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and prime the eyes quickly. I do need a darker base, so let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll blend it out. So just like that. I'm not going to go fully just little dabs of black, just to have a base for the eyeshadows to stick on. What we're going to do is take a flat brush and just blend that out. Okay, so that's kind of the depth that I want with the black, and that's it. So next I'm gonna go in with this shade right there, which is just above the bright shade. This is like a deep blue. Take my MAC flat brush. I don't know the number of this, it's rubbed off, but it's a flat shader brush and I use it all the time. So I'm gonna take that blue shade right there, and I'm gonna go in the inner and the outer corners. Sort of like a halo, but not really. Mattes have a bit of kickback, so I didn't say that before when I was using my fingers, but when you put it in with a brush, the mattes in this palette do have some kickback, so be mindful of that. So I'm just gonna place the shadow like in here. In the inner corners. So we're going to go in the outer corners as well. And blues are generally very hard to work with. So you just have to have a little bit of patience with the blues, but they're hard to work with. I'm not really putting in anything on the center because I want to go in with another shadow there. So okay, I'm going to go in back with the shader brush and just try to blend the top edges of the blue. Just keep it concentrated in here. Take a blending brush and go in with this gray shade at the bottom. Further blend the blue up into our brows. So let's do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll go back in with the center because I want things to look equal. The center part, I'm going to go in with this teal shade right here that I'm dying to try. And that's a shimmer. So I'll just go in the center part. Just drag it. That's a really pretty. Clean up under the eyes with like a makeup remover. And just kind of create that edge, if you will. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. This is kind of like a taupey. Obviously it's looking a little top heavy right now, so I'm going to go in with the black liner. This is a black liner by Makeup Forever. It's their Aqua Excel line, and I really enjoy their liners. Line the bottom half. And I'm also going to line the top just a little bit. Next I'm going to go in with the blue liner. This is also by Makeup Forever, and it is in the shade I-24, and it's like a teal kind of shade. And I'm going to line the lower lash line with this. I'm going to go in with the MARC Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara. It's my favorite. It has similar brush one as the Too Faced one. So what I'm going to do now is put on false lashes, do my whole face of makeup, and then come back and give you my full thoughts on the Smartorial palette and also review the Scandalist palette for you guys. So I'll be right back with the finished look. For my lashes today, I'm going to use a MAC number 48. I'm back with my full face of makeup done. I did go ahead and fix my eyes a little bit too. I just added a little bit more color at the bottom half of my eyes just to kind of, even things out. Go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts on the Smartorial palette. So yeah, this palette worked really well. Again, all the shades are super amazing, super fun to work with. I will say that blue obviously needs a little bit of a help with a primer of some sort, but the shimmers were absolutely amazing. I didn't go in with Fix Plus or anything like that. I just didn't need to. Blues are usually a hard color to work with, so you have to be patient. You have to blend, keep blending till you get the depth that you want. I went in and blended with this shade, which helped a lot, and now the look kind of just looks more cohesive and not patchy or anything. I really enjoyed this palette, so I'm gonna keep it, I think, and I'm gonna use it for other events and stuff. It's a really beautiful palette. I highly recommend it if you are in the market for blue eyeshadow looks. I know this look is very dark and it's probably just for nighttime, just because it's super smoky, but I quite enjoyed playing with this palette and actually very inspired to use more blues, because blue is my favorite color and I haven't actually put on blue eyeshadow in a really long time. So yeah, I'm so happy I got to play with this on camera. Next up we have the Scandalist palette, which I wanted to review. Those are the shades right there for the Scandalist palette. One thing I will say is that I guess it's similar to the blue one. The mattes had a lot of kickback. The shimmer shades are just perfect, and everything in this palette just blends out just A+. The mattes are soft in feel and touch. The shimmers are really beautiful. So let me just go ahead and swatch this for you on the back of my hand so that you can see the colors quickly. So here are the swatches for the Scandalist palette. Now this is my favorite shade of the whole palette. This is that rust brown, coppery brown that I absolutely love. I will say that this one is really pigmented. This brown one, dark brown one, felt a little bit patchy, but I have used it before and it wasn't so bad on the eyes. But swatching it out, it just felt a little bit drier than any of the other mattes in the palette. These shades are super wearable, which is why I think this palette will be a favorite for a lot of people. So yeah, this is just your everyday kind of beautiful palette, and I think that if you guys were looking for a warm toned high-end palette, then go for this one. And if you were looking for something fun, then go for the blue one. There are other palettes as well. So I just picked up these two palettes for now, and I thought that, you know what, why not sit down and give you guys a review of the palettes and show you how they perform on the eyes, which is the most important thing. I already know that the Scandalous palette works pretty beautifully, but the blue one also I was really happy with. So yeah, kind of living for this look actually. It's really smoky and sexy. Guys, that was the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that I can keep making more fun videos for you guys. And yeah, hope to see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye guys.